So we finished all of our mystery blocks of things that we love, and we're ready to put our quilt together.
We want you to be creative in finishing your quilt, so we've come up with a few options, one of which we've done here, and we'll begin showing you what we did. And so we decided to take our little scraps that we had left over from the blocks and cut 1.5 inch blocks. So these are 1.5 by 1.5 inches. And then we chain pieced.
And this is what you're going to make these posts.
Yes. So we chain pieced these together.
And we've talked about this before, and it's such a scrappy quilt, and you can just put random colors together. It doesn't take a lot of planning, and just sew one right after another. So it's quick, you're not wasting your threads. And then Gina's going to show you how you nestle these.
And so then you would press one going one direction and one going the other direction. And just make sure that you have probably contrasting colors is a good idea. And you just nestle those in right there. So one seam going one direction, the other going the opposite.
And you pin those and you do another, and then you just, line them up and do chain stitching to finish these blocks.
So your completed block is this 2.5 by 2.5 inch square. And of course, I think it really pulls in all the colors that we've used and showcases them. This is the length of our block, which unfinished is 12.5 inches by 2.5 inches. And so these are our sashing pieces, which we've chosen white, and then our scrappy little post, which is 2.5 by 2.5 inches. Now, a few options. Cindy's suggestion was you could do white right here, and then you could do a colored
color
post.
sashing. Yeah.
You could pull in, I did try several different materials with this, with patterns, and patterns seem to really make it busy. I felt like if I stayed with solids and with just a few of the simple prints over here, that it really showcased the quilt and did it compete against it.
And I like doing borders and posts and sashing because it kind of frames each block.
Right.
But if you wanted to just sew each of your blocks together, have a smaller quilt, you could do that.
You could.
Just have a centerpiece.
And so in order to split this up, basically what we've done is taken a block, and then this row right here is a sashing piece.
Gina's already done with hers. I got to finish mine.
Cindy's going to get busy and get hers done, and then a sashing. So that's this row here. And then when you get to your post row, you've got your little post and sashing, another post and sashing, and you just continue. And
so you're going to sew
in
that row at a time.
Right. And so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 post and sashing rows. And then we've got 1, 2, and 3 rows of blocks and sashing. And we put those together.
Okay, so now you've got your post and your sashing sewed on. You probably want to put a border piece on it, don't you?
Yes, so the easiest way to do that is to measure through the center of your quilt.
Get out your tape measure.
Yes, and that will give your sides, your side borders, which I prefer to sew on first. You may prefer to do your top, in which case you need to measure through your center here. So measuring through the center, both directions, make sure you cut your borders exactly the same measurements for your sides. And then you have a measurement for your top and bottom, and you'll be able to square that up. We'll have fun pictures on our blog, probably.
Yep, of the finished quilts and how each Gina and I finished our own quilt.
And we'd love to see yours.
Yes, so post it on Facebook and share with us what you've made out of things that we love, and we love that you joined us on this fabric journey.